Welcome back to my Waking Nightmare. I'm your host, Colton Jacobson, and I'm the podcast host that posts every 3 months like clockwork. All jokes aside, I'm back and I've got great news. Almost every single time I go without posting an episode for a couple of months, I come back here and I say, "Oh baby boy, I'm back and it's time for a new season because a new season will solve everything." You know, if I just say, "Oh, this is another season with a bigger number," then all of my problems don't exist anymore. Well, the good news is I'm not saying that this is a new season. Well, I mean, season 10 has like two episodes maybe. This isn't going to be the final season. Season 10, of course. Naturally, I do want to progress further and further. I've got years to do it, right? But Season 10 continues for now. However, Act 1 is over. That's right. Now we're entering Act 2. And if you know anything about story structure, Act 2 is where it starts to get interesting. Really, the whole reason that I'm trying to differentiate this is because I want to continue doing the Season 10 thing. Obviously, I want to get better at it, but I don't want it to be over. However, I temporarily want to do something else. And that something else is sort of kind of going back to the YouTube channel. My Waking Nightmare supplementary channel, for those of you that know. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. But it's essentially daily videos chronicling my progress. But unlike last time where the goal was to have some sort of content trying to convince me to keep watching it, this time I'm going in with a goal. I want to attempt to watch Lawrence of Arabia 29 times over the course of 29 days. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to watch it once a day. Obviously, that would be the easiest way to do it, because watching the movie twice in one day takes up most of my day. So it's not necessarily a daily thing that I'm going to be doing, but I figured let's try to do something special for, February 2024, the leap year. I always love that February has that extra day in it, and I want to do something with it. So 29 days, 29 watches. It's already going to be more watches than I had last year, I think, if I remember correctly. Which, I mean, that's kind of embarrassing. I don't even want to talk about that. But anyway, that's the plan. And you know how I am with plans. I'm very good at sticking with them. So we'll see what happens. I just wanted to throw out into the ether what my goal is, because I feel like if I say it and it's public and people want to hear that, it's a lot more difficult for me to not follow it. Right, if I had it just sitting in my mind that I wanted to do 29 watches over 29 days, if I watched it 3 times in the month of February, I would kind of feel a little guilty, but I'd be like, oh, nobody actually knows that I wanted to watch it 29 times, so it doesn't even matter. So I figured I would just say it, and I would just put it out there. That way, if I don't do it, it's embarrassing, and I should be ashamed of myself, and I already am ashamed of myself for how far behind I am. So at the very least, obviously this won't catch me up to where I'm supposed to be, but it will help me get closer to where I'm supposed to be, because I'm just going to be completely honest. I have said multiple times, like, oh, I wanted to be caught up by the end of 2023. And that wasn't even close to happening. But I am going to be very, very sad if I'm not halfway done by the time I'm halfway done. So that's the new ultimate goal. We're still nearly 2 years away from that, but we're also nearly 400 watches away from that. So I don't know. I don't want to go in super pessimistic because I feel like I run into that trap a lot with this project. So I'm just going to say I want to be halfway done by the time I'm halfway done. And if I really try, it's possible. That's 200 times a year that I have to watch it. I've watched the movie 121 times as of right now. So technically, even though I haven't watched it 21 times this year, I'm 21 watches into my 200 watches, if that makes sense. So obviously this year's a little bit shorter than next year as far as times that I have to watch it in order to catch up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this current. Let's stop thinking about the far future for now, and let's think about right now. And right now, I want to watch the movie 29 times over 29 days. Today is February 1st, 2024. And I did watch the movie today. So, I'm off to a good start. Obviously, we still have more to do in order to make it work, but it always feels good to not fail immediately when I set a goal for myself. So, it's 10:30 p.m. on February 1st. And I did, in fact, watch it. I've seen the movie one time in February so far. So I hope I don't get behind on that. If I really need to, I can watch the movie twice in a day. I don't think that I could watch it 3 times in a day. I think that might be pushing it a little much. So I hope it doesn't come to that. But if I really, really need to miss a day, I could make that up. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I could make that up for sure. But this is just supposed to be an introduction to what I'm doing and what's going on, because, you know, I don't post ever on here, so it's rough because I know what I'm thinking. But you guys don't know what's going on ever. So, you know, because this is the rough part for me, is the podcast part. You'd think that the watching the movie is the rough part. Not so. I mean, it does suck, but I'm used to it by now. So I'm just going to end this one here. This is probably what it's going to be. I'm going to post, I'm thinking, on the YouTube channel, the video, and then I'll post the audio version of it on the podcast feed. So you don't have to watch it twice. And honestly, the video portion of it, don't really expect much. It's just me sitting here on camera against a wall. It's just, I feel like the more that I can do, the more obligated I am to try to get done. It just feels like I'm trying to get some sort of routine, and doing the video version of it feels a little bit better than the audio version, because even if I'm not sitting up against a wall or something, I can record it on my phone, while I'm out and about or doing something or whatever. So it takes a little bit of that unwanted work, I guess, pressure, stress. It's not difficult, but it's something that I don't want to do, is sit down and record the audio of it. So if I can just fart out a nice little wet fart of a video and then just take the audio from it and upload it, it'll take a little bit of that work off of me for what I'm hoping is over 20 episodes for this month. So, like I said, we'll see what happens. And I'm hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. My name is Colton Jacobson, and I've seen Lawrence of Arabia 121 times, giving me 2,525 days to watch it 880 more times.